I'm not sure what the deal was or what the point of this trip was or why we even went out there. But at one point, when I was a little kid, maybe like 4 or 5 years old, maybe nearing six, I found myself on this little trip going off to some remote village out in the middle of nowhere. This was in the Philippines, and we had to hike out. And I think we probably took some little Jeep sort of, like all terrain, four-wheel drive vehicle out a lot of the way. But at some point, there we were. I was about to say on all fours, but no, we were walking on our two hind legs, out through the jungle, out through the wilderness, and out to what I thought was going to be a village, but it ended up just being a hut in the middle of a cornfield. But on the way there, the path got rather perilous, and it got to this one point where on the side of this mountain, this winding path turned into it seemed like those points in video games where they make you like walk along these ledges and you have all these buttons on your controller or the keyboard or whatever, but it gets to a point where only two of the buttons actually do anything. You can only go right or left, and in the video game it's like half the time they don't even let you fall off the ledge even if you tried. You can really only the right and left buttons only ever do anything. But here, looking back on it, I think I was like in actual danger, but just, like I feel like the adults I was with were just like pushing me along. They're like, come on, Peter, just go. It's just like a little crumbly, like mountain ledge that's just falling apart beneath your feet. Come on, people go across here all the time. And it's probably true. People probably did go across there all the time. But I'm not sure why everyone was so eager, to push their 5-year-old son along across it. But I mean, I guess that was just part of that's just part of what you did. And there I was, kind of, I had my back to the cliff, my arms, spread out, I was just I was trying to become one with the cliff. And I was looking out over the trees because it, this is just this is my memory, from what? This is like 11 years, no, this is from like 21 years ago. Math. And I could see the trees out in front of me. And this is not like a nice sturdy stone cliff. This is just dusty dirt where you could just like slide and slip and everything's just crumbling and blowing away in the wind beneath your feet. And everything, I could see the trees disappearing into the misty air, out in the distance. And, back then, I don't think Wikipedia was a thing. And I didn't know about the Beatles. I didn't even know the Beatles were a thing. The Beatles were a thing, though. And I'm not sure I had ever... No, maybe I had played No, I don't think Had I played a video game yet? I don't know. Yeah, I had played video games. My dad had like My dad had like a PC in his office. And I played like these little video games on his computer. Yeah, I was a PC gamer from the get-go. And he also had like a ham radio in there. Yeah, I've talked about that before. Anyways, so I inched along this cliff and everyone was inching along next to me, kind of like there was no, it was one of those moments where, like 1 second is a million years and you can freeze it in your mind and soak it all in later, even when at that very second, it's all happening too quick to really tell what's going on. But the human mind is an amazing thing, and you can replay it all later as slow as you like. But anyways, eventually we got to this little town, all in one piece. Everyone survived miraculously enough, and I feel like everyone almost always survives that little perilous trail. Otherwise, they probably wouldn't use it anymore, or that's just the trail they use that has the highest survival rate, and there are other trails with lower survival rates that have like lots of spikes and stuff below them. And this trail just, didn't have any spikes below it. So when you did fall off of it, you just have a higher survival rate to survive the fall or something like that. Anyways, we got there and it was like some sort of party. But like it seemed like the main event at the party was, well, the main thing that I got to do was to like take a turn at hitting up the butter churner, like they had like a big thing It looked like it looked like a giant. Well, I don't know how to describe it, but you lift this thing up and down, and another bigger, like a giant mixture of a mortar and pestle and an hourglass shaped thing, all elongated, heavy, made out of wood, and you just churn the butter, and there's this little thatched hut, and in fully half of the hut was a bed. Now, you may say, wow, that must have been a tiny hut. And it was, but it wasn't that tiny. It was just a huge bed because the whole family slept in the same bed. And it wasn't really a bed, it was just a whole half of the hut was kind of elevated and like soft bamboo thatch, something or other that they used as a bed. And it was more of like a designated sleeping area. You know what I'm saying? And I do remember lounging there briefly before I wandered off. I remember seeing my mom. She was taking a turn at the butter churning, and I wandered off, and I think I found some other boys my age, and we, entertained ourselves by throwing some rocks at some other rocks and watching them bounce off of each other or something like that. But we might have eaten some like a pig or something. No, I don't think anything that exciting happened. That was at a different place. I think the butter churning might have been the most exciting thing that happened there. Also, I think a field might have caught on fire, and it might not have been corn at all. I don't remember almost any. The memory is a weird thing. Okay, bye.